So today, we're playing a Ranger, and we are using the investment opportunity skill with good old Excalibur, the TUSKPIERCER, and a Phoenix. And all these three items use a ton of buffs, so we're going to be stacking up a ton of max life with this skill. But hey, check this run out, and let me know what you think of this build. Okie dokie, let's go and jump some games with the Ranger and see just what I can do today. So we're going to grab the frame pan, we're going to grab the whetstone, we're going to slot it in like so, we're going to grab a set of healing herbs. Let's grab the water stuff, we can always sell it back for the same price, and we might actually end up selling it because that is a big old banana and we are going to need that stamina. So this looks pretty good, we're going to move on, and we're going to see, is this going to be good, is it going to fall short, are we going to be able to deal with this Pyromancer? Honestly, they do have a lot more max HP than us, but we are dealing quite a bit of damage. And smashing, we've got a big crit for 12, which is awesome. Just pausing the video here very quickly, just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. Now that is a flame badge. Should we actually take the flame badge? Generate up a lot of heat. Let's actually go ahead and grab it, because we could potentially go for a flame up type build. Now I'm going to roll once. That is a chili, that's also a garlic. Some pretty decent options. Let's grab the garlic for now. Let's flip this to this side. Slot this up a tiny bit so we get the value from our banana. Let's buy a flame. We're going to reserve the chili and the leather bag, but we're going to move on. Now this flame badge is going to give us a lot of heat from the very beginning, up to 6, which is going to increase the speed of our weapons and our food items. Now the problem is, increasing the speed of our weapons, especially that frame pan and wooden sword, it is going to eat up a lot of our stamina. However, we have made our opponents proc that health potion, but that's still 3 regen. But honestly, smashing really fantastic for us right now. And we could go for chili goobers. Don't exactly want to. Let's grab a chili pepper for now anyway. Which means we cannot exactly roll. Which is not super ideal because I did kind of want to look for a whetstone. But unfortunately, we're going to rock on with this setup with our banana down below. And we'll see. Now that's a lot of damage. With the stones, with the frying pan, we could be in big trouble. However, we should have a ton of value with our food items. And should be smashing. Now that shield is putting up a lot of value to be reducing our stamina by quite a bit. However, we do have an option right now. We did get super spacious, which has been nerfed since the beta. It now has a 40% chance for the bags to be on sale, which is the only thing I really know about. I don't know if any of the other effects have really changed. Piggy Pinata has been buffed, 30% chance for piggy banks to explode, or investment opportunity, which has been nerfed, which only gives us 1 gold per round. I'm thinking we're going to take investment opportunity because it's too good not to take. We're also going to take this, craft up that hero sword. I'm going to roll once, and we are desperately going to need this leather bag. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell a flame in favor of actually grabbing this for right now. And we're literally just going to move on. Now, investment opportunity is going to give us a way more value. Now, it's a big nerf from 2 gold down to 1 gold. It's still going to be really awesome though. 1 extra gold per round is a lot. It's basically just a piggy bank. Except it's only going to take up 1 slot. And then if we're going to be using up some buffs, it is going to give some max life. So overall should be fantastic. And overall awesome. Now speaking of awesome, that's an acorn collar, which is going to give us 5% more crit chance, which is going to be worth it. I'm going to roll. Now I also want the lucky clover. We're going to take the card for now. We're taking the card because that can remove some debuffs. It's also going to increase the damage of our frying pan, which should be pretty good overall. I'm going to keep this as a hero sword instead of crafting up that burning blade. Our opponent does have time dilator, which is going to slow down our attack speed quite significantly, while also increasing the speed of their food items, which is going to give them a ton of block. They're going to stack up quite a bit of poison on us. So unfortunately, this could be in their favor, but smashing, we got a big crit once again. I'm not complaining, that is super awesome. Now we could go for Shield of Valor, craft up a Sun Shields. But I'm going to grab the fanny pack. Let's grab our lucky clover, let's roll. That is a draconic flask. But I think we could actually take this bow and arrow, to be quite honest. Now I'm actually going to slot this down to increase the speed of our food items even just a little bit. Let's add this in. I do actually want this bow and arrow. And I do kind of want to grab the draconic orb because we start off with so much heat from this flame badge. It should be awesome. It's also going to remove some spikes. Actually, maybe you don't even want it because we're going to have crit chance from acorn collar anyway. Yeah, we're probably actually going to leave it behind. We could craft Obsidian Dragon though, which would be fantastic with our big ball of treats, but unfortunately we're going to fall short once again. Actually, it's looking like it's going to be an Excalibur game. Let's go ahead and craft it up. I'm going to unreserve Dragonic Orb. I think we're actually going to sell our Hero Sword because I kind of want to actually grab this bow and arrow. And I do want to craft up a TUSKPIERCER. We're going to sell the Hero Sword. We're going to grab our Walrus Tusk. Now we could grab the Phoenix too. And go for a big bowl of treats that way. I'm actually going to leave it for now. I do actually want to find a bit more storage. We're going to sell healing herbs and we're going to grab this for now also. Which means we can add in our lucky clovers once again. And I'm actually going to reserve this undead ammo because once you craft up this frying pan into Excalibur and TUSKPIERCER, we do want to stack up a lot of spikes to give our TUSKPIERCER a way to deal a lot of damage. Now this double axe is looking quite scary because that is going to be a lot of damage. We're going to have a little bit of damage mitigation during that battle rage, which is going to allow him to scale up that double axe a little bit faster. And unfortunately, just one hit too short, unfortunately. Now, we did get Excalibur, which is going to be kind of nice. We could take EGGSCALIBUR Leaf so we get that mana from the very beginning. Or we could take Big Ball of Treats because honestly, this with Excalibur is pretty darn awesome because it is a food item. Now it has been nerfed, it did lose 2 star slots, but I'm still thinking I'm going to grab it because it could give us that spikes for our TUSKPIERCER. Now we could take a Hedgehog, but if we're running TUSKPIERCER, we're going to actually be losing some spikes, so I'm not going to take it. Hoping for the Amative Feasting, and we hit the jackpot. That's also another Chili, which leads to another Chili, which we're not going to take. We're going to sell 1 Flame, and we're going to have to take this storage. But I'm going to have to store the inventory and be back in a second while we do so. Right now, we're actually going to have to move on with the setup, and we do need a lot of mana generation, that's for sure, but that's where we probably should take EGGSCALIBUR Leaf so we can actually get Excalibur procced immediately. But unfortunately, we're going to add in 1 extra flame. We're going to need the storage. We're going to have to move on. And we'll see. Now, with our investment opportunity, we should be able to get a little bit of max life from our TUSKPIERCER, where we deal big damage and smash it. Now, this should be fantastic once we start getting some mana generation. Let's take this for now. Let's roll. Speaking of mana generation, that's going to be awesome. Now, let's take the card as well. I don't exactly want this garlic, so we're going to roll again. Speaking of mana generation, that is fantastic. Problem is, we are definitely going to need this potion belt too. But with that, we're going to have to move on. Now, this blueberries is going to have to put in a lot of work for us. It's going to have to generate up 11 mana, which it literally cannot do by itself. So we're going to have to rely on a big ball of treats to give us 1 mana. But are we going to live long enough to actually get 11 mana? Or is our opponent actually going to live long enough? It's going to be super close, but smashing. Really awesome. Now, right now, out of all these options, I don't think we should take any. We could take hardwood. This has been nerfed. And rightly so. This was way overtuned during the beta. Now, is it enough of a nerf? Because it's still going to be a lot of damage. I have no idea until I try it out. Stoned. We don't have any stones. Don't plan on getting stone golem, even though we do have a big ball of treats. Will be fantastic. Shielded. Got a little bit of a buff. I think this one is going to be generally good. But we're not going to rock shields or armor. So, unfortunately, I think we actually have to reroll here. Now, we're going to grab this mana orb, we're going to slot this in like so, we're going to move this down below to this position, which should be fantastic overall. Now we know Squirrel is going to be really fantastic, but we're going to have to leave for now. So we can grab a fanny pack, and we roll again. We're going to sell 1 more flame, to roll once more, and we're probably going to need this stamina sack. We're going to move on. Now we desperately need some pineapples. Now we can stack up a little bit of spikes for Excalibur. With a mana orb in, we should be able to generate up a lot more mana for ourselves. And so far, not looking too bad. And with our investment opportunity, we should be able to actually scale up a lot of life with Excalibur along with our TUSKPIERCER. So overall, smashing. And we may actually want to find some cheeses too. Now let's grab our stamina sack. Let's roll. We could go for a second rogue potion. Honestly, this Phoenix is looking kind of awesome to take. So I'm actually going to grab it for right now. We're going to have to sell 2 flames to grab this also. Now, investment opportunity with the Phoenix, with TUSKPIERCER. This could be insane, actually. And we're going to move on. Because if we stack up a bunch of heat with our Excalibur, once we resurrect with our Phoenix, it is going to give us a ton of max HP. So overall, should be awesome. Now, our opponent's actually dealing quite a bit of damage, but we are going to resurrect. We come back and... Actually... 1 HP in a dream. Holy moly, was that way too close for comfort. That was generally scary. Now we're going to grab the prismatic orb. That's going to be nuts. Let's grab a blueberries. That's another chili, which we're not going to take. That's also another chili, which we could take, but we do need to sell 2 flames right now. We can actually fit this in for now. I'm actually going to sell the garlic to roll once more. That's another mana orb, which we desperately need. But we're going to move on. Now, we should be in a fantastic spot because we did move our prismatic orb. Now, it's only 4 mana. What we'll have to do, it means we're going to get to Excalibur a little bit easier so we can actually scale up our heats, deal that big damage, and smashing. This is actually looking fantastic. DPS right now, we do have 43 DPS overall, which is not too bad. Compared to our opponent's DPS, we are a lot higher. Let's go check our heals, which is not really that great right now. Neither is our block. But we're going to move on. We can make this a lot better. That's for sure. Let's grab our mana orb. Let's grab our chili pepper, hoping for a cheese. Let's grab the blueberries. Let's roll once. Let's sell this flame to roll again. And we are going to need this stamina stack. But for right now, we're going to have to fit our mana orb in this position. Have this set up like so. So we should get 6 mana off the rip. We should be able to consistently scale up our mana generation for Excalibur. And we're going to move on. Now, honestly, not finding 1 pineapple is not great. Because we do get a pineapple in, we stack up a little bit more spikes, which means our TUSKPIERCER is actually going to be dealing even bigger damage. Now that double X is going to be quite scary. It's also going to be flicking some frost on us. However, it's going to be quite close, but we do resurrect and smashing damage. We have 45 DPS, dealing 577 damage in 12 seconds, which is pretty darn good. As for heals, yeah, our healing's after getting a lot better, but that is because of our Phoenix. Give us a big burst heal, and with the investment opportunity, 156 max life gained, which is honestly crazy from 1 investment opportunity. Now, we finally got it, the pineapple. The stacking spikes that we do really want. Which means I'm actually going to flip this up to this side. We're slotting that in here. It did give us another pineapple, which I kind of do want to grab too. But we do kind of want our food items to be triggered, the ones that we do have, to be triggered from Excalibur. We're still going to take it though, but we're going to start off with the stamina sack. We're going to add in our chili for right now, so we stack up a little bit more heats. We do also want the prismatic orb, so we can start off with even more mana. But again, we're going to rock on with the setup. And with our spike generation, we should be in a fantastic spot, and we're going to see the spicy banana Excalibur type builds as they stack up a lot of heats. Are our Excalibur type builds that's dealing a heap of damage and smashing. Really awesome. Now, both our Excalibur's dealing roughly around the same DPS overall. But our Phoenix and our TUSKPIERCER adding to that damage. Basically, we have nearly tripled our DPS. Well, actually, just about double, to be quite honest. It's just a bit over double, to be quite honest, but still, not too bad overall. So let's keep it moving for now. Now, we're going to highly prioritize the prismatic orb. We're going to slot it in this position, which we do mean we'll lose our blueberries, but it'll have to do for right now. We can't take a prismatic orb. We could take the draconic orb, but there's no real point, to be quite honest. We're going to sell the flame to grab this little bit of storage. And we're going to add in some flames right now. And we're going to move on. Super quick. We should be able to get a ton of mana, so Excalibur should be able to continuously stack up that spikes and that heats. We should be able to deal big damage, but our opponent's actually dealing quite a bit of damage to us too. But look at that damage. Massive damage. That was kind of insane. Smashing big damage there. Basically coming from an Excalibur, Phoenix, all at one time dealing over 100 damage, while their stone gun dealt at 80 damage. Which did resurrect us, but we had built up enough to smash that opponent. But let's keep going for now. Let's grab our pineapple. Now we could craft up the golden crown. I actually do want another pineapple, but we're going to keep it in our inventory as we roll, because we are going to need that storage. Now let's roll once, twice even, and that's all we can really do. Now we could also add in a flame up on top of it. That would actually generally be insane, but it would make our investment opportunity go a little bit more crazy, and we could stack up even more heats. But we'll see. Our opponent is going to be removing our buffs, and if they do remove our heats, we're going to be in big trouble. They're actually dealing quite a bit of damage, actually, inflicting a lot of debuffs. And actually, yeah, unfortunately, they just removed so much of our debuffs, so much of our buffs, that we couldn't actually survive long enough. Yeah, our damage actually dropped down quite significantly, unfortunately, and so did our heals. And unfortunately, we got countered pretty hard. By taking all our buffs, that is where we're going to struggle. Let's take a pineapple, which does give us that cheese, which is going to be fantastic. Now, we're actually going to place it in over chili. Let's roll. Let's sell a flame. Let's roll again. And we're probably going to want to buy these final 2 bits of storage. Now, we're going to take out this card, even though it does give us some power for another chili. And we're going to move on. And we'll see. Now, Doom Caps, this could be the death of us too. Doom Caps are, honestly, just way too strong. That's going to shut off our healing completely. Now, we do stack up max life, which should give us enough time to smash our opponent. And awesome. Yeah, we got 536 life. Even though our opponent had a crazy amount of life from that snake, we still managed to outpace him. Because we're not fully on healing, we do stack up a lot of max life. But let's keep it going for now. Now, this is the final round. We're going to be taking this so we can actually add in our pineapple. And we're going to end up taking this too. Now, we could take the wrap, but I'm going to roll. That's another set of blueberries. Which, honestly, I'm just going to take for a final item. Although that is a chili, we could honestly take two. But you know what? I'm going to sell our 3 flames, and I'm actually going to take a... which does give us another cheese. Now, I'd love to grab this extra cheese, but it is what it is. We're going to have to rock on with this setup for right now. Now, Flame Badge, Phoenix investment opportunity with all this setup is actually crazy insane. Because we're going to get a lot of stacking and max life. Now, if we did have more multiple cheeses on top of this whole investment opportunity, we would be in a crazy good spot. But we'll see. Is this going to be enough? Are we going to fall short? Can we win out? We'll have to see. I'm going to slow this one down to 0.5 if we can actually manage it. Time Dilator is going to be a little bit rough first off, because it is going to slow down our Excalibur. But we do stack up a lot of heat to make it go turbo fast. So we should be in a pretty good spot. Now, another prismatic sword type builds. That is going to be dealing quite a lot of damage. It's going to be scaling up that damage. They are doing quite a bit of damage to us, but we are stacking up our max life. They do get that invulnerability. We have stacked up a crazy amount of buffs, which we're starting to deal out big damage right now. But our opponent is also stacking up those buffs too. We do resurrect with a crazy amount of life. Up to 380, but is it going to be enough? It's going to be super close. And smashing, just barely winning out. Holy moly. But what a finish. Now, investment opportunity with Phoenix, with TUSKPIERCER, with Excalibur. We did stack up a lot of max life. And that's only with 1 cheese in, so investment opportunity definitely had a big part in our max life stacking. Now we'll see. Within a 20-second fight, we managed to get a 67 DPS, a 76 DPS, dealing 1,600 damage. Which is pretty good. Now, definitely could have been higher, but it still is going to be pretty good compared to opponents, which had that prismatic sword scaling up with Blood Goober to be dealing that extra damage on top of it. Let's check our heals right now. And heals was about 40 healing per second compared to opponents, which is pretty darn good. Our opponent also had healing reduction on us, so our healing actually would have been a little bit higher. But where we actually shined was stocking up our max life too. So that investment opportunity, 324 max life gains with 190 cheese. Yeah, that's kind of insane. Now we did in total then get 1300 effective HP. So we basically got about 62 healing per second overall with a max life gain along with our healing. But hey, a ton of fun overall. Investment opportunity, crazy insane with Phoenix, TUSKPIERCER and Excalibur. Using up a lot of debuffs and giving us a ton of max life. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope you look out for the next one. See you next time.